This is the MeatEater podcast coming at you shirtless, severely bug-bitten, and in my case, underwearless.
We hunt the MeatEater podcast.
You can't predict anything. Brought to you by First Light. When I'm hunting, I need gear that won't quit. First Light builds no compromise gear that keeps me in the field longer. No shortcuts, just gear that works. Check it out at firstlight.com. That's FIRSTLITE.com. All right, everybody. If you ever wanted to know everything you'd ever wanted to know about hot dogs and sausages, now's your chance. We're joined today by your mechanical engineer and hot dog expert, John Carter from Alabama. Came on the show because we were talking. Randall is big. Explain how the whole thing happened, Randall. This is your deal.
Well, we were talking about making hot dogs with Jesse Griffiths, and I received an email. Roman passed it along. There was an email sent to the podcast, the MeatEater at the MeatEaterwhatever.com.
Mm-hmm.
And it was rather bold in its tone. He said, I don't know what sort of hack you've got lined up here. We hadn't mentioned Jesse by name, so it was not a personal slight against Jesse, but I said, we're working with someone. And he said, I know all about hot dogs, the science of hot dogs. And he said, I can guarantee you that I can give you, and it caught I'm glad that you worded it that way because it caught my attention, and I called you up and I talked to you for 30 or 40 minutes about hot dogs. You cleared up some misconceptions that I had in my own mind about a subject near and dear to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to Steve, this should just be a podcast, because I think I came into you with maybe the two things that really had my head spinning.
Yeah.
About caseless technology, and I learned about lunch meat on that call, and I sort of paced around my house for a few minutes afterwards, just thinking how little I knew about
something you thought you knew all about.
Thought I knew all about, and so here we find ourselves.
Yeah, because initially what was going on is I was talking about wanting to make a video about making roller dogs,
right?
Meaning making hot dogs, and in our world, in our like world of sort of wild game and fancy food things, people hear hot dogs, making hot dogs with deer meat. And they always are, in their mind, they're trying to elevate the hot dog or add a spin on a hot dog. And so I started saying, okay, never mind hot dog. I'm talking about roller dogs, meaning when you go into a gas station and you find hot dogs at a shockingly low price.
Right.
Okay. There was if you're in Sioux, like in Michigan, there's Sioux, Ontario and Sioux, Michigan,
right?
Sister cities, separated by the St. Mary's River. The Canadians always want to pull into our gas station because they can get smokes and stuff cheaper than they can get them over in their own country. So this is a big gas station full of Canucks going in there to get gas. They fill up, right? Because America just has some things are cheaper in America. This place used to have 4 roller dogs. I'm going back to early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
4 roller dogs for $1. Sometimes. Insane hot dog prices.
It's impressive.
So if I'm like, how do you make a hot dog? We wanted to make a video about it. So that's why we were like trying to find hot dog experts. And then you wrote in saying that the hot dog experts we're using aren't up to the job. What we're sitting here again, and I don't want to hack on. This is a sausage. If you can see in the camera, Phil, they can see this?
Yes.
There's a couple little scraps. Someone sent these in. They sent it under a package called roller dogs. It's a venison roller dogs. It's an elevated. It's delicious. It's delicious. If I made that, I'd be proud of myself. Ain't a hot dog.
Right.
Ain't a hot dog.
It's like if someone said, oh, I make an Oreo, but it's better than Oreos.
Exactly.
And they have like a little chocolate cookie and there's some cream filler and another chocolate cookie.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a great cookie, but it's not going to tickle all the Oreo notes.
Yeah. Because when someone, you're right. They would make it, they'd be like, oh, no, it's an Oreo, but it's better.
Yeah,
Right.
when a consumer goes into a store, they make a purchase on 2 points: my wallet and
Okay.
what's the thing look like
Okay.
visually, because
Mhm.
you haven't tasted it yet, right?
Uh-huh.
So you can't make a decision on taste. So it's going to be how much does it cost, and what's it visually look like,
Okay.
and those are key points for the whole processed meat industry.
Yeah.
Is visual appeal, price point, and I think what you're saying is I want that hot dog price point. I want it to look and feel and taste like a traditional store-bought hot dog.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Tell me. Well, first off, give me like how'd your career go? Like how'd you wind up in the like sausage casing hot dog biz?
It's a bizarre path. So, yeah, my senior year in high school. So I'm going to go all the way back to 1992.
That's the year you graduated?
I did.
Me too.
Really?
Hell yeah, man.
73?
That was back when hot dogs, roller dogs. That was like
That's
the
right.
kind of
That's
I view
the
that as like
heyday.
the heyday of roller.
Yeah.
That's what we ate for breakfast in high
Right.
school.
Yeah.
We
We
had-
probably put on there the night before, and you're getting the roller dog
Oh,
from
dude,
last night.
you'd pull into the station, buy $5 worth of gas, $1 worth of hot dogs.
So
We had
now
a
I know that's a
marathon-
27 to 28 to 29 millimeter
Yeah.
hot dog.
This is what got me when we're talking about the bore diameter
Yeah.
of a hot dog. This is what
Right.
really got me going. But yeah, we had a Marathon gas station that was like 2 miles from the high school, and it was like 99 cents for 2 dogs and a small fountain drink.
Okay.
And then you could spend the other dollar.
small fountain drink?
Yeah, and you could spend the other dollar on a scratch off ticket.
God.
Mm.
So it was like the best of both worlds.
Come on,
You
two
knew what you were
dogs-
getting, and then
two
you also
dogs
didn't
and a
know.
fountain for $1.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with anything, man. But I just want to throw this in
All
for
good.
1992, whatever. We used to have. You ever hear of Hardee's? The restaurant
Oh, yeah.
Hardee's. We had a Hardee's near our high school.
Mhm.
Hardee's was running this thing. It was I can't remember if it was Tuesdays or Thursdays. Early in the morning, it was all you could eat B&G, biscuits and gravy. All you could eat for $1.99. And it would be a foam. You'd go up to the counter and they'd give you a foam square. And they'd just mound it with B&G. And you'd go back to your seat and you couldn't barely finish it. But if you did, you'd go up and they'd held true to their word. They would hand you another one of them foam trays just mounted with that like fake.
There's some
It was like milk and flour.
There's some Gen Zers listening to this right now, wondering what sort of horrible world they inherited.
So that my first job at 16 years old, I was a chef
Okay.
at a little restaurant called Shoney's.
A chef.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Not a cook.
Mhm.
Chef. Okay.
That's right. I was in charge of the breakfast bar,
Okay.
and we had all you can eat fried shrimp at Shoney's.
Oh.
We'd roll out. Your reorder would come out. There'd be 2 on the plate. We just keep sending you 2. Keep sending you 2 until you got sick of getting
You'd wear them out,
That's right.
You'd wear them out. Yeah, they'd become physically exhausted before they became full
That's
from
right.
having to refresh their plate.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so your
Yeah.
career, 1992, you graduate.
92, I went to a physics class.
Okay.
My physics teacher in high school was Robin Williams' half brother. His name
Really?
was McLaurin Smith Williams. Christian Brothers High School in Memphis, Tennessee.
Robin Williams' half brother.
Looked just like him, had the same sense of humor, and
Writing poetry
It-
on the chalkboard
it
and
was-
stuff. Yeah.
awesome. So
Okay.
I became this guy that said I want to be an engineer because of that one guy.
Huh.
So I
I
went
mean,
in
because he was Robin Williams' half brother, because he was inspiring
He
in and
was
of
in-
himself.
inspiring in and of himself.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he didn't have a lot of jingle, like his brother wasn't passing a lot of jingle off to him.
No, he
Okay.
was a high school teacher, and that
Mhm.
that's who he was. I got a picture of him. I'll show you. He looked just like him.
That's great.
He so he wanted me to go to the University of Tennessee to be a nuclear engineer.
Oh.
I wanted to be a mechanical engineer, and I visited the University of Alabama. And once you visit the University of Alabama, you go to the University of Alabama.
'Cause
So
of
that's
why?
what I did. Just a beautiful campus.
Okay.
That's just an amazing opportunity. Not throwing anything out for the school or anything. I'm not a paid endorser, but
Well,
it's
my
a-
boy,
it's an
he's
awesome
getting to the point
campus.
where his mom's starting to harass him about his college plans. I'll have to throw that one out to him.
Visit Alabama. My
Yeah.
daughter went there as well.
You know, it'd be good. You know what company you and me
Mhm.
should start, man? We'd kill it. Maybe we'll let Randall in on it. Imagine if we started a company called Nuclear Hot Dogs.
It's a good idea.
Dude, that would be like
We might have
Nuclear hot dogs. We'd kill it on that.
It's a good brand.
We might have missed the boat. I don't know. I feel like
there's already one called that.
There's got to be some guy out there.
Nuclear hot dogs? No, there's not.
Yeah.
I know Atomic Burger.
Oh. Would they sue you? No.
I don't know.
Not they wouldn't sue. They might try a cease and desist. You just ignore it.
Yeah, atomic and nuclear are pretty.
Nuclear hot dogs.
Those are two totally different areas.
Let's look into that.
Go on.
Yeah.
We'll hash out the details on this later.
went to Alabama, graduated in mechanical engineering. The whole plan was to be a process engineer. That was the plan. And upon graduation,
Can you tell us what that means?
Yeah. So every plant, whether they make steel, they make hot dogs, they make paper, they make cars, have process engineers in them. And they're responsible for optimizing the process, managing quality, improving the efficiency of the plant, things of that nature.
Okay.
So I did a co-op. So I would go to school for a semester and then work for a semester, then go to school, then work. So it's called a co-op program. So yeah, it took me 6.5 years to graduate college, but it's because I worked every other semester, I promise.
Yeah.
At a steel mill, a cast iron pipe manufacturing facility in Birmingham. And I was convinced that's what I was going to do. And interviewed. The job market was hot in 92 or 97 when I graduated. And
I didn't dip in on that.
It was good. I think I ended up getting
fishing was hot.
I think I got 9 job offers coming out of college.
Wow.
And 2 of them were sales jobs.
Seriously?
Yeah. So 2 were in sales. 1 was in the paper industry.
People coming looking for you.
Yeah, me. Who doesn't like this guy?
I know, but it's just funny.
I had a lot more hair.
I mean, if I had
back then.
gotten out of college and just waited for someone to come looking for me, they weren't coming.
Right. Right. The co-op
That's
helped.
great. Yeah.
Because that's what people look for. They look for that experience. So
Yeah.
I'd had it by working every other semester. The sales jobs came with a little bit more money. And the job I eventually took came with a sweet 1997 Chevy Astro van as a company car. And that's what kicked it over the edge.
Like a take-home car.
That was it.
Got it.
So that took me into paper. So I worked in paper, mostly in tissue and towel for a while, some time in leather. And the source, obviously, for paper is cellulose.
Okay.
The source for hot dog casings is cellulose. So I knew of the company I work for now, Viscase, from that experience, and wanted to try something new. So that's what brought me into the hot dog. So I went from Robin Williams' half brother, kind of down this weird path.
The Astro van along the way, yeah.
To being a hot dog magnate in the process
That's
engineer at Atomic Hot Dogs.
That's right.
Nuclear hot dogs.
Nuclear hot
dogs.
Yeah.
Can we touch on the leather thing? Because we're right before we started, just very quickly touch on it. Before we started, we visited just as we were kind of gearing up.
Mm-hmm.
And you were sharing with me that you've seen a lot of changes in the leather industry since the time you were in it, and that a big driver, this is a pun. No, it's like a pun neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
A big driver of the leather industry is the automotive industry.
That's right.
Can you touch on that?
Yeah. So the leather industry is run out of Italy because of the fashion roots. Right.
Okay.
So that's where everything's run. What drives a lot of the volume in leather is automobile car seats. And it's just because of pure volume. You know, it takes a lot more leather to make a car seat than it does a boot.
Yeah. And when we discussed that, I was sharing that a friend of mine from high school, a friend of mine from high school, her mom was Bolivian. And I don't know how it all happened, but she wound up marrying a dude from South Africa who was a leather buyer. And he bought leather for luxury auto. And again, this is going back to that, like, the time that I met him and that he was doing this would have been early 2000s. And he was buying all this leather down in South America. I think maybe we talked about Patagonia, but anyways, he's buying leather in South America. Barbed wire is not as prevalent down there. And he's talking about how it's hard to find large pieces of perfect leather,
right,
that you would use to do a car seat, like unblemished leather for like premium auto.
Right.
And you were telling him about how that industry is in decline.
Yeah, I mean, social pressure is a big piece of it. You know, social media drives a lot of the younger generation.
Mm-hmm.
The terms vegan leather is out there, what I think is it's kind of a weird term to me. But basically, it's making it out of plastics and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Because the concept is I don't want to kill a cow for the seats in my car.
Yeah.
But that cow's not being killed for the seats in your car. Cow's being killed for the burger that you ate for lunch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Leather's a byproduct of that whole industry.
Yeah.
So what's a shame is a lot of the leather that's produced from the meat industry is going in landfills. It's being burned in boilers to produce energy and steam and never making it into a leather good, which is a shame. That's not proper use of the animal, in my opinion.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's surprising that people want it out of that people want that material out of an oil or a plastic product.
Right.
And then to put the really durable, renewable stuff into the ground.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, back to hot dogs. So the cellulose deal.
Sure.
You're dealing paper.
Mm-hmm.
Tell people what is that when you say that? Did you say cellulose or something different?
Cellulose.
Okay. Explain that.
Yeah, I mean, so I came from paper. I live in Mobile, Alabama. We're in the southern yellow pine forest.
Okay.
You know, loblolly pines, longleaf pines, all of those types of trees. And that's where I hunt too. I'm a huge. I've got a buddy who owns 240 acres. I'm his work labor.
Okay.
And he owns land, so we hunt together. I cut a pine tree off the roof of the single wide trailer last weekend.
Got it. So you're like maintenance and habitat.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah, we do all tractorless. Anyway, we got a whole thing going on.
Okay.
But it's all farmed pine trees.
Okay.
I mean, my truck is sitting in the airport parking lot right now, covered in yellow pollen right now from the pine pollen. It's so down in that area of the world used to be owned by a lot of paper companies.
Okay.
A lot of the paper companies got out of owning land.
Mm-hmm.
They buy trees now.
Okay.
There are a few Weyerhaeuser, Rainier Forest Products. There's a few out there that still own the land.
I wasn't aware. Like I know that those places used to own these huge tracts. What was the one what was the outfit in Western Montana?
This is Weyerhaeuser.
Mm-hmm.
No. Plum Creek and all that.
Oh,
so Plum Creek.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Like all that stuff above the Clark Fork when you're going down I-90 looking to the south.
yeah, but isn't
Probably
that
International Paper. I think Plum Creek bought International Paper's land. I think that's right.
Huh.
But
I don't want somebody to get a new pair of boots on my mistake. But.
Yeah. Either way, I didn't know that was a trend. I guess I can think of all kinds of places and people that have bought land that used to be timber company land, but I didn't recognize it as part of a general thing where they were like holding fewer land assets.
Definitely holding fewer land assets. International Paper, the largest packaging company in the world, I don't think owns any land assets other than where the plants are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, up in Canada, not so much. Like the Irving family, I don't know if you know about the Irving family up in Canada. Robert and J.D. Irving, they're the most vertically integrated. They're like a poster story on vertical integration. They own the land. They said, well, what else can we do with this land? We can plant trees. We can make paper. We can mine oil. We can, we're building all these plants, so we're going to start a construction company.
Okay.
Like they just keep bolting on stuff onto that company. And they're one of the biggest landowners in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we were working on our hide hunters audio book about the history of the buffalo hide hunters, we toward the end of that we get into the tanneries, like where all these hides were going and what they were making out of them. And that was kind of a detail about those tanneries, is that the tanneries were basically places that owned enormous tracts of hemlock. Right. And that was like, you centered your tannery around that, and these places owned, I can't remember what it was, absurd amounts of hemlock. Not buying the trees from other people, but they own the ground, you know?
Yeah, and that's where all the paper mills end up popping up is where's the wood basket. So there's paper industry in the Southeast U.S. is big because that's where the wood basket is.
Okay.
And it's sustainable forestry.
Yep.
And that sustainable forestry in the Southeast U.S. goes to make toilet paper, packaging, and hot dog casings.
And they're moving. There's enough hot dog casings getting made out of cellulose that you were aware of it when you were in the wood biz.
Yes.
But if you pie charted out who's using this, the hot dog chunks got to be like not even you can't even see. You know when you look at a pie chart and the only thing you can see about one of the wedges is there's lines.
Yeah.
But you can't tell what's in the lines.
Right.
I bet there's a very specific term for that, and I'd love to know what it is.
Like the line is bigger than the share. Like the line is thicker than the share of hot dogs is what I'm trying to say.
Correct. You're not wrong.
Okay.
So there's a specific type of wood pulp that's used for making cellulose casings.
Okay.
And it's what's called dissolving pulp. So you dissolve it and regenerate it. High value chain. Dissolving pulp is used to make hot dog casings. It's also used to make dude wipes. It's also used to make diapers and feminine care products. It's also used to make athletic sportswear, rayons, and things of that nature. Tencel is a brand name in that space.
Really?
So that's one of the main things that I wanted to do coming on here is just to talk about, we work in the woods, cutting trees and hunting and doing all that kind of stuff. What happens when the trees leave our property? And that's what happens. Toilet paper, wet wipes, feminine care, diapers, all that kind of stuff comes out of those forests.
Before we go deeper into that, and I want to go deeper into that, can you explain? Remember how we started talking about roller dogs?
Sure.
Cheap gas station hot dogs?
Yeah.
Can you explain where a hot dog ends and begins? Like, what is, not globally, I don't care about dudes in Germany or something, but like, when I go into a gas station and I see a roller dog, like, what am I looking at?
Right. Good question. So,
Or put another way, just to include more people with awareness. If you're in New York City and you go to a corner and there's a dude with a stainless steel, he's got a cart and in it is a stainless steel tub.
And you can feel the mist of the steam.
And you order a dog and he takes the lid off and it's a steamy, we call them water dog, not roller dogs. We call those water dogs. And he dips a hot dog out of a bucket of hot water.
right.
That hot dog.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, there are those hot dogs.
Okay.
And then you go to the supermarket and it's you can get a pack of hot dogs for $2. You can get a pack of hot dogs for $8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so the difference in that range is all about what is it made out of? Does it have fillers? Does it have, those types of things? So in its core form, a hot dog is made of salt,
Okay.
ice, lean protein, and fat.
But what's it stuffed into?
And it's stuffed into 90% of the hot dogs in the U.S. are stuffed into a cellulose-based casing. So it's an inedible casing that is stuffed into. Viscase actually invented that space. So
let me see one there.
Back in 1930, we invented this guy. And that's on a sheared stick.
If I started walking, if Randall grabbed one end and I grabbed one end, how far apart would we be when this was?
That one is 200 feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of dogs.
There's probably
that's 200 feet of hot dogs?
That's probably 100 hot dogs in there.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, because there's waste. They twist, and so it takes up some space.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we sell in lengths from 84 feet up to 200 foot.
And that's
sticks.
a wood product. Or that's
a
not
cellulose product.
That's a cellulose product. Okay.
Which one source of cellulose is wood.
Okay.
Another source of cellulose is cotton linters.
Who?
Cotton linters. Do you know what a cotton linter is?
Yeah.
So it's used in money.
But that's a byproduct of cotton, right?
It's fiber that's inside the seed.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can make that same product out of cotton linters, out of dissolving pulp from trees. some interesting research going into using bamboo as a cellulose source,
Okay.
things of that nature. The two predominant sources are cotton linters and wood pulp.
He's trying to get me going on Eli Winter and the cotton gin and all that.
Yeah, don't
which I
take the
learned
bait.
about in,
Don't take
like,
the bait.
10th grade. I'm not going to get into that.
I think it's Whitney. It's Eli
Whitney?
Whitney.
Eli Whitney.
I don't think it's Winter.
So when we talked, one of the things that I was asking you about is when you buy a hot dog, because the casing that the hot dog is being stuffed into is inedible,
Just there in the manufacturing process.
and so
Yeah.
so what happens, like, when you stuff the casing? We can get into emulsions and all that in a little bit,
Yeah.
but like, you just mentioned that this is inedible. So describe
Yeah.
how we go from an inedible casing to me eating a hot dog.
But hold on, I got to correct you on something. That's the flavor profile of a hot dog is salt.
No,
Okay.
but salt is the most important ingredient in hot dog
Okay,
manufacturing.
but there's a little more in there.
When we get to emulsion science,
Mm-hmm.
we'll talk about the importance of salt.
Okay, so pick up his deal.
Yeah. So hot dogs originally came from Germany, called Dachshund sausages. That's why we turned that into hot dogs in the U.S.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the word?
Dachshund sausages.
See, I would think someone was making sausages out of those little dogs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a wiener.
Fair enough.
Wiener
Yeah.
dog.
I think it was the shape,
Mhm.
skinny, long.
Got it. Yeah.
And they were made in natural casings. They would hang them in the butcher stores.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure in Phil's Christmas play, he had some sausages hanging in the background.
I don't think
It's-
so,
it's
man.
like the-
I think that was a huge oversight on Phil's part.
I didn't harass the prop department to get some sausages. Yeah,
Phil,
Next
but
year.
yeah, I don't remember there being sausages.
I don't believe there were. There was just a big fake goose,
Mm.
You get no more
small fake goose.
Dickens. There's nothing more Dickens than hanging sausages.
Well,
Mhm.
I would expect next year
Yeah.
around Christmas time, I'd expect a call from Phil.
That's
I'll
right.
make some calls.
That's
Mhm.
right. So they were made natural casing. So what our founder did is he said, I've seen this new process in Europe
Okay.
called the viscose process. And we can create a permeable, low-cost casing for manufacturing hot dogs. And so that's what we did. And the key thing to a hot dog casing is before that, hot dogs were all different lengths, all different diameters, because you were using a natural product.
Uh-huh.
And they're all different diameters, right? They don't have rules. When you can manufacture a casing product, you get a very uniform hot dog.
Got it.
And then you can package it. You don't have to hang it in the store and cut links off. You can package it on a 1 pound package.
Mm-hmm.
So why this material was chosen is primarily because of its annular rigidity. So it holds its shape. It doesn't expand. It does have some give so that they can stuff it to a certain pressure.
What did you call that word again?
Annular strength. So it's strength around a circle.
Yeah, in the old days, we would have called this episode "Annular Rigidity." We switched to
Yeah.
bad titles.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. And it's permeable. And that's the critical factor. It has to be permeable to smoke. Because the majority of the skinless hot dogs, so that's what we sell in the US right now,
Uh-huh.
they're all skinless hot dogs. What happens is in the cooking process, smoke penetrates. It cross-links proteins at the surface of that hot dog and forms its own skin out of cross-link proteins. And that's what gives you a snap. So there is no skin on that hot dog. That's managed through smoking and cooking.
Okay, hold on. I got to back this up for a minute. Again, you go. Well, let's do this. You go into a gas station because you're going to a 4th of July party,
Mm-hmm.
and you buy the cheapest sack of. How many comes in a typical? We got one in our
8.
work freezer. Have you ever seen that block of hot dogs in the work
Yeah.
freezer?
There's an open one.
Usually
So
eight-
how many's
usually
in a
eight.
normal pack?
Usually
Like
eight.
an Oscar, what I don't want to name. Yeah, Oscar Mayer, the worst, not the worst. The least expensive hot dog. No, not the worst meaning best. The least expensive hot dog you can find.
It wouldn't be the one you just mentioned, but okay.
Okay, but the store brand least expensive hot dog you can find. There is no case on that hot dog.
No.
But that hot dog has been smoked.
Yes. Some of them.
Because
Yeah.
when you look at, when you look at the end,
Yep.
you see the little casing dimples.
Yeah, that's from that being twisted.
This is what
So it's-
convinced me that this is a podcast.
Yeah.
Like
So-
when you bite into a hot dog and there's like a little skin hanging off,
That's cross-linked protein on the surface of the hot dog.
but it's no different materially than the rest of the filling.
Correct.
What'd you call it?
Cross-linked protein at the surface of the hot dog, just on the surface.
How do you get him out of his casing?
So these are treated with easy peel. So it's got plant-based glycerin and things like that to make them peel easy.
Okay.
So the first time I went into a plant, it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. It was unbelievably clean. The ingredients that went into that emulsifier were not what I was expecting.
You were expecting some Upton Sinclair stuff.
I was.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
And it's not that
Okay.
at all. I watch these butcher guys, and when they're squaring up a ribeye,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to square this up. That goes in the trim pile, and that's bought by the hot dog manufacturers and things of that nature. So, yeah, the casing forms the hot dog. It hangs on a chain. It goes into the smokehouse.
Huh.
It's smoked. It's cooked to its final temperature. They control humidity, temperature, all through that to get the characteristics they want. Then the cooking
Hot
is
smoke or cold smoke?
hot smoke. So yeah, they're cooking somewhere around 130 degrees, something like that.
So they're cooking that son of a bitch in the smoker.
You could take it out of the pack and eat a hot dog. It's fully cooked.
I just walking in that big old room, man. Big old bottle
I'm
of
trying to
ketchup.
line that up here.
The best hot dog I've ever had is right out of the oven, right out of the manufacturing oven.
I
So
can
good.
I can tell, man, because like my buddy, they milk cows,
Mhm.
and you drink them. They put it in that super chiller.
Yeah.
And you drink that milk right out of that chiller. I could picture
It's
getting a hot
outstanding.
dog right out of that hot
Yeah.
dog
Get some
machine. It'd be the
superpowers.
same, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. And they kill the cook at the end with cold water. Then it goes into packaging. I mean, and so in these plants, it comes in as lean and fat. The
Okay.
two primary ingredients that are in there.
Yeah.
It goes through the process and it's coming out as packages, ready to go to the store.
How come there's no bent hot dogs in a? Because if it's draped over something, you make a brat, anything, breakfast links. Like when I cook breakfast links in my lamb cased breakfast links in a cast iron skillet, I spoon them like you and your lady laying in bed at night, right? They're all
Right.
like, because they all got a bow to them.
Right.
But a hot dog in a hot dog pack is straight as an arrow.
So when they're cooked, they're hanging it over a chain, but it's 200 feet of those suckers twisted together.
Got it.
And so they're hanging vertically.
And that weight is pulling them straight.
That's right. That's right.
Got it.
And then, so in packaging, the casing's stripped off. It's either a water jet or a blade or whatever. You'll see a lot of these casings have a black stripe on them.
What do you mean a water jet?
So it's 30,000 PSI water that you can't even see it
But how does it not obliterate the hot dog?
because it's controlled. I think most of these are slit and peeled.
Okay.
So, you'll see
That I
when-
can visualize.
when you cook a hot dog,
Mhm.
like in a skillet,
Yeah.
sometimes you'll see a perfect straight line open up on it.
He's telling me about that line, but I was lying and acting like I knew about it. But when you were talking about the line, I don't know the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see. I always thought it was like an indentation from it being vacuum sealed with other hot dogs. So this is what I'm talking about. This is great.
So
So
that
you're telling me you're cooking up a hot dog at home or on a stick over the 4th of July party, and you're seeing a line.
sometimes, not all the
Sometimes,
time.
yeah.
And that's from cutting that thing off.
And it's cut and peeled. The photo eyes in the plant will look for that blue or this black stripe to make sure it was peeled during the manufacturing process. And so the peeler is the coolest piece of equipment in there. It looks like a machine gun
Okay.
with hot dogs coming out instead of bullets. It's just
Oh, if you could like have a gun like that, just
Yeah.
come into a room, be like,
Yeah, everybody would be so happy in there.
yeah, it's very cool. And then it goes in, they get sorted and packaged. Yeah, vacuum sealed. And then off to your grocery store.
You know the thing we were joking earlier about Upton Sinclair and how clean it is in there, but like like people say of hot dogs, right? The old classic, like lips and a-holes, right?
Right.
How much truth is there to that? Like, what's going into a hot dog? Give me the worst case scenario. I mean, like
that's a worst case. I mean, come on, that's incredible, incredible wordplay.
Yeah,
Han, you like the pun?
Oh, yeah, that was a double whammy. Worst
that was
case?
accidental.
The worst case with the U.
No, that was on accident.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Give me the and I know you're in the industry, man. You're a company man, but like, give me the worst. Like, give me an example. Like, would people be pleasantly surprised if they saw what's in their hot dogs, or would they be like, "Oh, it's worse than I imagined"?
No, they'd be pleasantly surprised. I mean, so the lean is all from butcher trim. If they're wanting to get the cost point down, for that $2 pack of hot dogs, there'll be different protein sources.
Okay.
So they may put a whey protein or some other.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, some other protein source to get the cost profile down. And people.
I had no idea.
People.
So the same stuff you drink when you drink or not the same, but like if you're drinking like a protein replacement,
sure,
or like a replacement meal or a protein powder,
milk protein, plant protein, soy protein,
you can jam that into a hot dog.
You could, in order to get a protein fill or to get the price point down. And the key point is, originally I said the consumer votes.
Yeah.
Like they get the ultimate vote with their purchase. And so the consumer knows how much money I have in my wallet and what's the thing look like on the shelf.
Yeah.
And so if they have a certain amount of money in their wallet, they're going to want a lower price point. And so you still have to make a profit, right? So there are ways to do that. You can do that with protein additions. But I haven't seen lips and a-holes on any shelf.
Let's do this. I believe you, kind of. But answer this one totally honestly.
Okay.
If you had, would you be able to tell me?
Yeah.
I believe him.
It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me either.
Because if I went to a buddy's house and he made something and he's like, "You'll never guess what I made that out of," I'd be like, "I'll try it."
Well, I mean, so there's a market for that stuff, right? If I'm in Alabama and I'm going we don't have the Canadian versus Michigan kind of competition you're talking about.
Yeah.
But if I roll into an Alabama gas station,
not even on the border,
not on the border, I'm rolling through there. I'm going to see the hot dog rollers, but right next to it, I'm going to see a jar of pickled pig's feet. I'm going to see a jar of pickled pig snouts. I'm going to like that stuff. There's a market for that stuff in it.
I see where you're going
on
with
its
this.
own.
And you think those snouts and those feet are not likely to be in those dogs?
I think he knows that.
Of the places I've been to,
I
haven't seen it.
And if you did, you'd tell me.
And if I did, I'd tell you. So I've been to, I've been to a lot of them.
Yeah. Randall, I know you're bursting with questions, but I got another one. Walk me through. It seems like they call out a beef hot dog. Like it seems like if it's a beef hot dog, they want to tell you that it's a beef hot dog. Right. And so they're sort of they're providing like it's juxtaposed to what?
Yeah. So hot dogs are made out of beef, pork, or chicken, or combinations of the above.
Oh, I didn't know there was a chicken hot dog.
Yeah.
Really?
Sure.
But the guys making those aren't like chicken hot dogs.
They do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they do.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Chicken and turkey.
Like it seems like they're proud of a beef.
Oh yeah, all beef. I mean, that's like a branding thing. I think is like
it is.
An all
it's
beef
a marketing
hot dog
thing that it elicits. I think incorrectly a quality or whatever. I mean, there are also religious pieces to it.
Yeah,
where you've got to understand kosher. And
that's
all
good.
That
kashrut and or what? So it's halal. Is it halal?
Halal is there.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Kosher.
So you'd be like, if you were going into an area where you had Muslims, Yeah, Jews, you might see that there's a higher prevalence of just like labeled beef with the kosher.
And it would have the stamp on there.
Yeah.
So that's what they're all looking for is the triangle K or the halal or whatever it is.
Got it. So that drives that. But
it does.
It doesn't mean that if it doesn't say, like if they're not touting what it is, it's likely because it's what?
It's a standard pork hot dog is what I would expect. Yeah, I mean pork is the easiest protein source to make a hot dog emulsion out of.
Okay.
Very forgiving, very easy to make. So in the industry, there's a saying that says pork makes sausage and chicken makes money. That'd be a good name for the podcast, probably.
Deer meat makes for a big weekend.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So chicken has a really high water holding capacity.
Yeah.
So you can put more water on the protein and sell more water.
So we've thrown around the word emulsion.
Sure.
And I pretend like I know what we're talking about. But scientifically speaking, what are we like?
Yeah.
I know I sort of know it when I see it, but what's going on there? And then how do the different proteins factor into that?
Yeah.
Because then you're talking about water content.
So people hear the word emulsion and they think, oh, this is lab grown food.
Mm-hmm.
It has this scientific-y feel to it. Milk's an emulsion. There's all kinds of natural emulsions out there.
How is milk an emulsion?
What an emulsion is a fat particle that's stabilized with an emulsifier around it. So there are stabilized fats inside of milk.
That's what emulsion means?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So if I make salad dressing, an emulsion is I'm taking two things that won't mix. I'm mixing them and stabilizing it. So salad dressing, oil and water, oil and vinegar, whatever it is, if I shake that up, in 30 minutes, it's going to be separated again. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So an emulsion puts an emulsifier around those oil particles to stabilize it.
Okay, let's we make our own dressing and we buy a dressing like most American households.
Right.
So when we make it, I have a little shaker.
Mm-hmm.
You can, right?
Yeah.
You shake it up, you're right. It's like perfect. But then when you go get it the next time, it's separated out.
Right.
But then when you buy whatever, who's the guy that the actor ate all
Paul
the eggs?
Newman?
Yeah, you buy some Paul Newman. It doesn't separate. So what would I need to be doing at home to make mine like his?
That'll be similar to what we're going to talk about for hot dog emulsions. You got to pull an emulsifier around that oil particle to keep those oil particles from getting together and agglomerating.
Okay.
That's what happens. So emulsions are, again, they're natural. I've worked with emulsions my entire career because I used to be in the chemical space. So we made lots of defoamers and things of that nature that are stable emulsions. And that's the key. And in a hot dog, the oil particle is a fat.
Mm-hmm.
And the emulsifier that we're going to protect that fat from getting together is protein.
Huh.
So
what is it in salad dressing?
And salad dressing, it may be there are all kinds of emulsion starches and things like that that can stabilize an emulsion.
But you could make one from the things you could buy at a grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the key is you got to put tons of energy into it. So you got to shake the bejesus out of that thing.
Oh.
And when they make it, most likely, obviously, they're not shaking individual jars at the Paul Newman factory, I assume. So what?
Yeah, I never thought about
guys
that.
on
They
lunch
got
break.
they got like an industrial agitator.
They've got a full-on emulsifier pump.
I was imagining
that they're
guys on
using.
lunch break all going out for a smoke and their forearms are just massive.
That's right. So there's back pressure on that pump. They're going to cycle it through that pump, probably 6, 7, 8, 9 times, get the particle size of the oil down, stabilize it.
Okay.
So, same deal in a hot dog. Same process.
So when you grind that, walk me through making a dog. Like you got your lean meat.
Yep.
And you're grinding it to like a liquid.
Not really.
Okay.
So, I'm going to grind it a hell of a lot more than I'm going to grind ground beef.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to ground
a paste, let's say, not a liquid.
So I'm going to grind it to, probably a 3 to 5 millimeter plate, something like that. So
Okay.
pretty fine grind. But step one is protein extraction. So I have to extract the proteins out of that meat.
Well, it is protein. What's
So-
left once you get the proteins
So,
out?
but I've got to extract the individual pieces of protein. So protein's a polymer, right? It's it's a bunch of amino acids that are stacked out into a polymer chain. And so I need to unwind and extract those proteins so that it's ready to make an emulsion. Because it's a protein, but it's in the form of a muscle.
Uh-huh.
So I've got to get it out of that form of a muscle.
How you do that?
And I do that with salt. So
really?
that's why I argued that salt was the most important
Got it.
ingredient. So
It's not the
salt,
flavor.
salt drives protein extraction. So, again, key components: salt, lean protein, fat, and water
Mm-hmm.
in the form of ice. Are traditionally it, because what I want to do is extract that protein, but I have to be very careful that I don't start to denature it,
Mm-hmm.
because I want it to denature in the oven. That's when I want it to form into a gel and cook and solidify and have that texture that you want.
Okay.
I can't have it denature in the processing spot. So I'm going to add ice to keep the temperature down.
Got it.
Yeah.
I see.
So there's a, what is it? I got to look at my notes. So there's a differential scanning calorimetry. That's a tough, say that word 5 times.
Oh, try
It's
it.
DSC. That's what I know it as.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a graph, if you will, of the denaturing process of a protein. So pork has this really wide denaturing curve, kind of a low peak and comes off the other end. Really forgiving. Venison, extremely narrow and extremely high peak. So what that means is if I let temperature get away from me in the manufacturing process, it's going to denature quick.
Really?
So that's why.
Where's beef sit on that little scale?
Harder than pork. So pork is the easiest.
Okay.
Beef is harder, both because of the DSC curve, and then also just because of the extractability of the proteins.
Okay.
And for like someone just who knows these meats from cooking in a kitchen, is that why, like, is that curve have to do with people saying like don't overcook your venison? It's really easy to overcook your venison. Like is there
There's a piece to
a
that.
relationship there?
I mean, you guys, we all know, right? There's very little intermuscular lipids or fat in venison. It's a highly active muscle. The proteins are packed really tight, so that's what makes them hard to extract. So overcooking venison has more to do with you just lose any little bit of fat that was in there, and you're going to make a really tough chew.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I want to continue on with the emulsifying, but just on this subject, would you be able to take deer meat, wild deer meat? Would you be able to take deer meat and make a dog that if I came in the gas station and grabbed it off the roller, I would just think I was having a roller dog? Or would I be like, something's different?
It's going to have venison flavor, obviously. It's going to have a wild flavor. But outside of that,
the texture,
I think we could get the texture and all of that stuff right. It'd be really hard.
really?
Yeah, there's science to this.
That the DSC is the biggest driver. There's also pH of the muscle itself.
Okay.
So Corinne mentioned that I should listen to the red cutter episode.
Yeah.
And I did.
You ever hear that guy before?
No.
You'd have a lot to talk about.
We would.
Yeah.
I mean, it's intimidating. I feel like I'm the least intellectual of all the guests you've had, but
No, you're no.
Okay. We're good.
Don't worry about that.
All right. Yeah, it was interesting. So everything he was focusing on was about the tooth and chew of the meat.
Okay.
Making hot dogs, it's it's different. It's all about protein extraction.
Okay.
So he was talking about the DFD meat. You know, you called it red cutter. He called it dark cutter.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff is really easy to extract proteins from it. So he may not like it, but I kind of do because it's easy to extract proteins
From a dark cutter.
Yeah. That being said, the flavor's different and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Right? So, and I'm just talking pure protein extraction. But you talk in that episode, you talk a little about pre and post rigor.
Yep.
It's easier to extract proteins to make a hot dog in pre-rigor meat than it would be in a post-rigor protein. You would never do that.
Really?
Yeah. And it has most of what it has to do with pH. So as a muscle rigors, the pH is going to drop. If that animal was in stress when it was killed, that's going to have lactic acid building up. That's going to make the pH drop. And I can extract proteins better at a higher pH. So there are things you can chemically do, add phosphates, add some other stuff to get the proteins to extract. But that's all the stuff that you got against you when you're trying to make a venison hot dog. It's going to be low pH. It's got that real narrow band of the DSC curve.
Yeah.
It can be done.
Deer meat has a different pH.
A wild killed deer would have a different pH. I think so.
Okay.
I mean, unless, I think if I was picking the perfect animal, I would pick a young doe. I would shoot it in the head.
Okay.
And I would contemplate field dressing and making hot dogs out of it that day.
Right then and there. Just get right to it.
That sounds like an episode.
But I mean, that's a lot of hot dogs. Yeah.
Well, you just mentioned rigor, man. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday, and he was telling me that he's a fireman, and he's telling me it's kind of weird how this whole thing came up, but he was telling me they went to a nursing home one time, and there was a guy, and they had called about a guy that he was on a pacemaker and on some kind of other respirator or something. And they called about it. They couldn't tell what was going on with him, but he had a pulse. But when he grabbed his arm, went to lift it up, and the guy was already in rigor
with a pulse
because of I can't remember what he was explaining to me, but they had him on some sort of life support deal or something that was still registering. And he's like, no, he's not with us anymore.
Crazy.
Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
Wish I'd remembered the story better. Back to hot dogs. But back to hot dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I'd remembered what he told me better. I was driving, my kid was trying to get a hold of me.
Where does the water content come into play of these different meats?
Yeah,
as far as their ability to emulsify.
I'd say it's less about water holding capacity. I mean, they've all got. I'll have to look it up, but 60% water or something, something in that muscle. Chicken can hold more water.
Right.
Oftentimes the manufacturer likes that because they can sell more water, right? And both in a chicken breast or in a chicken hot dog. The more water that you put into the emulsion, you're stuffing a watery substance into cellulose casing, and that gets difficult to handle.
Okay.
Yeah.
The more viscous the emulsion is when you stuff it through the stuffing horn. I think the casing will take it. It'll twist more. You'll get good link sizes and all that good stuff. Yeah. So I would say that water holding and water content is less of a concern. It's more about, you remember what I said, when you're making an emulsion, it's an oil particle surrounded by protein.
Right.
You want You got to know how much fat's coming in with your trim.
Mm-hmm.
So how much fat's already in your lean?
Mm-hmm.
How much fat am I adding for that 30% fat that's in a hot dog?
Right.
And that ratio needs to be right, because you got too little protein, you're not going to completely cover that oil particle.
Okay.
You got too much protein, and there's extra protein kind of swimming around. In the
Yeah,
thing.
this
So
is what I remember from you describing one of the big challenges.
Important process. I mean, the key steps, and I don't want to. I've seen some of the homemade hot dog recipes and stuff like that on there, and I think what's missing out there is that it's two distinct processes. Step one is I want to extract my proteins.
Mm-hmm.
So in my kitchen, I would do that in a different piece of equipment. I'm not going to do that in a food processor, because that's going to heat it up, and I'm going to start denaturing, and that'll be a problem.
Okay, what are you going to do it in?
I'd actually probably do it in a stand mixer with a paddle. A 2 to 3, plate grind, add my salt, add probably half my ice to keep the temperature down.
Okay.
And slowly extract the proteins. And you'll know you're done when it stops being grainy and it'll be extremely sticky. So it'll stick to your hand. You can pull individual fibers. Like if you pull it out like this, you'll see fibers kind of break.
Man, I could picture what you're talking about from having made some dogs in my day. Yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You're good to go. Your proteins are extracted. Then you emulsify.
So it's done by that. You're not. So it's a look thing, a look and feel.
Yeah, look and feel thing.
Okay.
And I mean, in the industrial world, it's a recipe. Like they know I'm going to put this much ice in at this time. They've got specialized equipment that's both their chopper, they call it. That's where you do the protein extraction and chopper and emulsifier. It's all in the kind of the same piece of equipment.
Got it.
And then they're going to ship that to the stuffing plant to stuff.
When you go to put that, when you get that hot dog all ready and he's ready to go in one of these here, would you be able to pack it into a snowball, or is it a little runnier than that?
It's a little runnier than that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but it's pasty. It once you add the fat, it gets that white kind of creamy appearance, right?
Yep.
I don't know when you want to get into it, but kind of my concept for a venison hot dog is I think it's I'm using in my concept, I was telling Randall before this, I'm using bear fat. And the key thing is to understand what is that protein to fat content. And when I'm emulsifying it in the kitchen, dude, I'm not running it through that food processor for more than 2 minutes.
Okay. Because of temperature.
Because if I go too hot, the temperature's going to get away from me.
I got a question on the heat thing. I'm trying if this is related or not. You ever smoke fish, smoke salmon, trout, whatever? You ever notice? Really doesn't matter what kind of fish you're smoking. If you get it too hot, too fast during the smoking process, it puts off that white, I don't know, foamy goo.
You're melting fat,
and it's like, oh, you overdid it.
Yeah,
like too much heat too quick.
Right.
That's what that is melted fat.
Yep.
Okay. Is that the same as what you're talking about? So that's a different problem.
Totally different problem.
Okay.
This has more to do with taking off the denaturing process to form that protein gel that is a hot dog before it's in the oven.
Okay.
I need it to happen in the oven or in the smoker.
Got it.
So the problem then, if you get that heat going, is it that it's not going to bind to the fat? Like you said, there's two separate steps. There's one denaturing the protein, and then
extracting the protein.
Extracting the protein, and you don't want to avoid denaturing it. And then two is the actual emulsifying process.
Yeah. So I mean, think of it as that protein's going to gel and firm up before you've made it into an emulsion.
Okay.
So it's not individual pieces of protein to wrap around that fat. it's not available anymore because it's gelled up and solidified, if you will.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah. And that's the emulsifying process is more ice. Lots of times pre-emulsified fat. So I want to beat up the fat so I get the size of fat particle that I want. I want 1 to 10 microns or something like that. And then I'm going to wrap that protein emulsion around it.
Okay.
Or that extracted protein around it to make an emulsion.
And that's from the food processor. That's where you're applying the energy to it to make that. Yeah.
Serious energy.
Yeah.
When someone gets bologna,
Yep.
that's emulsified.
Yep.
A brat is not emulsified.
Correct. Yeah,
when you go and get lunch meat at a deli counter, Albertsons, Safeway, whatever, and you get like a turkey lunch meat, some of that's emulsified, but some of it's just turkey breast.
Right. Yeah. So
like where else do people see emulsification?
Say hot dogs, bologna, mortadella, all those types of products go through an emulsification step. I'd say deli meats are approaching it, but not necessarily. They're not necessarily all the way there. So to make a deli meat, you want to you're going to take pieces of whatever meat you're wanting to make. We'll say turkey. I want to break down the surface of each one of those individual chunks using enzymes, salt, things. So it's kind of like an emulsifying step, but you're not emulsifying it. Once you get the edges of that surface sticky, you're going to press it and and it's going to basically glue it all together.
Okay.
So it makes, you either do that in a round casing, which those over there, that's bologna casing, the red ones.
How long is this if we and Randall started walking apart?
It'd be a lot longer. Yeah.
It's a lot of bologna.
It's a lot of bologna. That's kind of a standard, round deli meat casing. It's made out of plastic.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got, some bolognas that plastic stays on. Some of it, they leave it on for the consumer to peel off.
Yeah.
So you got something to run in between your teeth to clean them out. and then some of them peel them off in the manufacturing process. But I'd say
keep asking questions. I got to see if I can get this relates. I need to see if I can get my wife to send me something.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you something.
It's a sandwich meat, a deli meat,
right,
is not quite an emulsion. It's more of individually separated meat that's pressed and formed. And so we either leave it round,
right,
in what they call a chub. So, a deli chub would just be a perfectly round, clipped with like hog rings basically on each end.
Is that a technical term?
Yep.
I always just call them loafs. When I see it in the case, I would describe it as loaf, but chub's much better.
It's chub. You can put them in a mold to make them square. You've seen the square hams.
Yeah. Like when you buy a little pack, when you buy a little pack to take home to make sandwiches.
Yeah. It's a square.
It's a very square piece of ham.
So that starts off in a round form and it's put in a mold when it's broken, when it's cooked.
Yeah.
And then some hams back in the 90s, there were more of this. There's the D-shaped ham.
Oh yeah.
So it's flat on one side and kind of arced on the other side. Yeah.
You know what? I wonder if the industry is still into, because I still use it. That stretchy net.
Yep.
You guys still use that stuff?
We actually sell those. So yeah, I didn't bring any, but and most of that. So it's elastic netting.
Yeah, you buy a roll that lasts your whole lifetime.
And it's used to put just surface characteristics on the whatever you're wanting to do.
Oh.
Yeah.
You think that's how you guys think of it?
That's what I think of it as.
But I got one of those big stuffers.
Yeah.
That I bought, like a big giant cylinder.
Okay.
And you load that netting on the end of that tube, and you can take a duck or a pheasant or anything like that and cram it through there. And it comes out wrapped up, trussed in that little net.
It's like buying a Christmas tree.
Yeah, Christmas tree.
Yeah, and then when you brine and smoke it or whatever, normally if you smoke a duck or something, he goes like this.
Keeps them all together.
Yeah. Well, if you mesh them, he stays all like a little ball.
Yeah.
And the marks look cool.
That does make some cool marks.
Yeah.
You were telling me when we talked on the phone about using cellulose products to impart flavor and color to, I think, specifically like lunch meats and stuff.
Yep.
But in theory, you could do that with the duck, right?
Good. Hey, yeah.
It kind of
in
prints,
theory.
like, explain that.
So yeah, the guy over here that's smoke treated. So we have transfer casings.
That thing smells good, man. Did you get a whiff of that thing? Yeah.
So yeah, the guys, they said I was getting the printed stuff. We made that in our printer down in Mexico, at our plant, and he was sending those. I said, "Can you put some smoke stuff in there?" And he goes, "You sure you want me to do that?"
Smell up the whole lobby
bring it.
when you come in there.
So
huh?
I brought it, and it sat in my kitchen for a while. My wife walks in the first time. She's like, "What have you been cooking in here?" It's like, yeah, it's my hot dog casing. So
What's the electric blue one you got there?
So that size is probably for like a cocktail weenie or
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So it's
A little
18, 19
smoky.
millimeter. They've got
But why is it electric blue?
it's electric blue because this customer has a visualization system that looks for that blue color
to make sure they got
to
it
make
all
sure
off.
they got it off.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or most hot dog manufacturers have that looks for the black stripe. So they're looking for that black stripe.
Is that's automated? Like they're
Yep.
they're sorting?
Yeah.
Huh.
Just making sure that it's all gone.
Got it.
Yep.
So
You were asking about transfer. So we've got
Yeah.
smoke transfer. Is if I'm going to make a product, but I'm not going to run it through a smokehouse,
Yeah.
but I want it to have a smoke flavor, you'd buy a casing with smoke transfer. There are also color transfers. The biggest in the hot dog world is dark cherry for making
I've seen that.
the red hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
So they're big up in Massachusetts.
Yeah, but what does that come from? Like, call them like, didn't they used to call them red hots and stuff?
Yeah,
Okay,
there's a brand.
But why the
Red Hots.
redness? That was just a branding thing.
Yeah, so I mean, you're going to add, these dogs have probably a little bit of sodium nitrate in it to give it that pink color.
Mm-hmm.
That's what does that. Sodium nitrate also kills botulism and all the kind of the bad stuff. It's probably got some phosphate in it to help get the pH up. That pH discussion. I'll talk about that in my venison recipe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing. I can say that in the U.S., the majority of our dark cherry red casings, and that color does transfer from the casing to the hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
We also have caramel colors, mostly in plastic and fibrous, that transfers a caramel color on the outside of the lunch meat.
Got
For
it.
example, you see that rind.
So it looks like it was
Some of that, a lot of that smoke, right? Because it's a smoked ham, and that color comes from smoke.
Mm-hmm.
But I've said it a couple times. The consumer votes, and their vote is with their wallet and their eyes
Until they're hooked.
and until they're hooked,
Yeah.
until they have a flavor hook.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And I want to see that kind of, as a human being, I want to see a nice ring on the outside of my deli meat because it looks well put together, right?
Do you happen to know in barbecue?
Mm-hmm.
So they go like Texas barbecue or whatever. People want to see that smoke ring. And then there's talk about how deeply penetrated that smoke ring is. What is happening? Like, what is that ring? Like, why does it make that color?
So it's very similar to how we make hot dog, right? We said it goes in the smokehouse, and those surfaces, it's myosin. So the protein, once you've extracted the protein out, it's in form of myosin.
Okay.
Heat will make myosin migrate to the surface, and the smoke makes it cross-link. So that's what makes the skin on a hot dog.
Uh-huh.
And that's what makes a smoke ring. I mean, my argument is I want the biggest smoke ring I can get when I'm smoking a butt.
Not a cigarette butt, but like a
Correct.
butt.
A Boston butt. I'm from Alabama. That's what we call them. Yeah, Boston.
What's it
butt.
called?
Just a butt.
No, you said a word like
Pork butt.
No, you just
Or
said
pork
that's what we
shoulder?
call it. Where?
Oh, in Alabama.
Oh, okay. Now,
That was-
okay,
that was
got it. Yeah, smoking a butt.
My
yeah.
wife's gonna get on to me. She's gonna say I've been mumbling. So she's in the biz.
She's listening.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a hold of my wife. She's ignoring me.
She's in your biz.
Yeah.
So she's good God, the comments that I got preparing for this from her is don't mumble, don't use the word awesome, don't do this, don't do that. She gave me all kinds of good advice.
Sounds like she loves you.
Hope she
I've
does.
been listening for awesome.
That's right.
You haven't said it once until now.
That's awesome. Thanks.
So that okay, that ring. Tell me again, Scott. I want to memorize this.
Yeah.
The ring from smoking is something is being drawn toward the surface.
Myosin being drawn to the surface.
Okay.
And then the smoke cross links it to make that ring.
Okay.
And
so
on a hot dog
you couldn't theoretically do it to the point where that was through and through. It'll always diminish toward the center.
I don't think you could, because smoke penetration on a piece of meat, if you put a Boston butt on a smoker, you only need to leave it on there for the first hour. After that, it's done. It's not going to absorb any more smoke. It's not going to get any more of a smoke ring on it.
That's when it's just heat from there on out.
After that, you might as well throw it in the oven.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it's an hour or two, depending on your temperature, right?
No kidding.
Yeah. And that's me as a Alabama barbecue guy, not as a casing expert.
Yeah, you guys got that good white sauce, though, huh?
Alabama white sauce is pretty good. I ate at a place here in town last night, and they had Alabama white sauce.
I know right where you were, man. Did you get it on the chicken?
I did. I ended up getting the pulled pork because I wanted to see if you guys got it figured out.
You were. Does it start with an A?
Started with a B.
You weren't at Aleworks.
No. It's a restaurant that is named
See, our
after...
family, man, our go-to is Aleworks, dude.
Okay.
Just generally.
I didn't know the town. It was close. It was close to the hotel.
We're a big booth family.
Okay.
Like to be in the booth.
They do have big booths.
Yeah.
Going there, you're kind of in your own little zone.
Forces,
man. I mean, you're like in your own little private area, man.
Yeah, I've got
a big booth.
My wife's 4'9", so she's a little bitty. And
your wife's 4'9"?
So I've got to be. She's small.
Yeah,
she's small, and so we have to be careful about where we eat, because when we
she
come
won't
in,
reach up to the counter.
Yeah.
So when we go there, they say, "Do you want to sit?
Get the booster.
Do you want to sit at a high one of the high tables or one of the regular tables?" Regular tables.
Yeah.
It's just because their feet dangle.
That's
awesome. I have the opposite problem. I want to find a place where the table isn't too close to the back of the booth.
Why is that?
So that I can fit in without my shirt hanging over.
Oh, you don't like getting all in there and you're getting abraded.
Wedging yourself
abraded trying to climb in there.
If you wouldn't eat 8 hot dogs during, we need to talk So do I need to get you in like the big contest up in New York?
Could you?
I
can. Do you have that in?
You mean the competitive hot dog contest? Are we really gonna? Joey
Chestnut won. It was 70.5 hot dogs last.
Listen, man, you're not into that, are you? No. that is grotesque.
Soaking them in water and
Are you into that?
No. I would do it. I would do a contest where you're just eating normal hot dogs, like you eat, if you're eating them to enjoy them.
If it was a hot dog enjoyment contest, and they could like hook dudes up to like a pleasure meter,
yeah.
And then who can score the highest pleasure?
Yeah, if we could get go to a neurology lab somewhere.
Yeah, exactly, something like that, like a pleasure measurer.
Yeah,
there's probably some way. Like what do you get when you go for a hike? You get a bunch of endorphins.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are you getting endorphins or are you getting because there's got to be like a guilt. There's like you get hit by guilt,
right?
And endorphins, and so like the guilt and the endorphins are
well, it's probably like the butt at some point, like the two meet and you just can't go any further.
You'd measure salivary flow and all that kind of stuff.
That's
all they have.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but I don't know how do you measure guilt. Because I'd want to see that in there.
Yeah.
It'd be like the darting of the eyes.
You could read it on my face, I think. How could you talk about bologna for just a second?
Talk about bologna.
Because I've always, if you'd asked me when I was 5 years old, I could have told you, bologna and hot dogs are cousins.
They're closer than cousins.
Then that's what I want to, so that's sort of what I'm, So tell me,
I mean, bologna is an emulsion that's cooked in a casing.
Right.
Is it smoked?
No. I don't know if they're smoked. I mean, all I know, I like frying bologna.
Yeah.
And I like smoking Have you seen the video of the guys getting a chub of bologna and smoking it on a smoker?
Getting a what?
A whole chub of bologna. So it's
what is the word you're saying?
Chub.
You are saying
CHUB.
that.
You missed this when you're texting.
Oh,
That's the technical term for those loaves of meat you see in the deli counter is a chub.
really?
Yeah.
So this is for loading chubs right here. Is that what this is?
Yeah.
No, I did miss that.
Yeah.
I remembered that, man.
But I've seen some cool videos of guys that buy the whole thing from the deli.
Yeah, smoke
a
it.
bologna and smoke it.
Is it good?
And that looks outstanding. I've never done it.
That's a great idea.
I want to try
man.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's the exact same process. You can extract proteins,
Mm-hmm.
control temperature, add fat, add your flavor profile. So that's the one piece is there's very specific spices and things you use to get a frankfurter
Right.
profile.
Right. And you were mentioning some of those earlier.
Yeah, I think there's nutmeg, coriander. There's some things
In a roller dog.
in a classic, more New York style, Chicago style. Like when you think frankfurter, that's what's in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you took,
There's also garlic and onion powder, all the kind
Mhm.
of standard spices.
in a normal dog,
But and I would say that every single manufacturer, that's the secret sauce, right?
I got you. They have
Like
their
that-
own.
That's
have
their
their
own
own.
mix.
Yeah. On this bologna question,
Mm-hmm.
could you mix, like if you mix up a batch of, like you mix up a hot dog emulsion,
Mhm.
could you just decide I'm going to throw it into a bologna casing and then be like, it's bologna now?
Different formulas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Different.
So it's not the same deal.
Right. Right. I would say the manufacturing process is the same. Obviously, the stuffing equipment is much, much larger
Yeah.
than on a hot dog and a slower process.
I want to touch on processed chicken for a minute. Is that an area you're familiar with?
Mildly ask and I'll answer if I can.
So people will point out, they'll be like did certain major fast food chains will have their chicken products, okay? Chicken finger items, nuggets, whatever, okay? And people will say, well, but that was made from a slurry.
Mechanically separated chicken, is that?
Yeah. What is that? Like how do you do that, but then get it to be that it's like you can hold on to it and it's got a breading on it?
Yeah, I mean,
because it's not like a chunk of a chicken cut out and fried.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's probably closer to the deli meat processing that we were talking about, where you free up proteins on the edge of that chicken with enzymes and other things, and then you press it into a mold, and it basically glues it all together. You can look at a sandwich meat and see, does it have fat veining in it, or does it not?
Yeah.
And if it's got fat veining, it's a whole muscle cut, right?
Okay.
Just cut right off.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it doesn't, it went through some level of processing.
Got it.
But again, I think the thing I'm trying to convey is that the processing, it's not scary. It's not, it's not this conglomerate of stuff we're sweeping off the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see in front of every one of these places FDA parking.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked one of the guys, I said, how often are these guys in? Said once or twice a day.
Oh, okay.
Like every day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
every shift. So they're coming in to do their checks and all that kind of stuff. And it's a clean process. And
So
I
sausage
wouldn't say
making
that
falls under FDA. It's not USDA.
right.
Got it. Because like butchering is USDA, or like a USDA inspector.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I don't know a whole lot about the certifications and all that. That was just a question I asked. Is
Okay.
how often are these guys in? They're basically checking temperatures and conditions and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and so to call those fast food chain chicken processing a slurry, I don't know that I would call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's meant to dog on it. That's meant to make it look bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's potentially there's a range, right? There's a whole muscle cut that I'm just slicing off the bird.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's I'm making sure I'm using whole use of the animal.
Mhm.
So I'm going to combine the trimmings to make deli meat. Or you start migrating into the emulsion space. I'm going to make an emulsion and cook it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as like if you had when you grind your deer, when you grind all your, offcuts, whatever, the grind pile.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody will be like, well, that burger eating came from the deer's, all different parts of the deer. That was never on the deer in that form, right? It's just a different.
Just ensuring you complete use of the animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. My father-in-law constantly says, well, you know what the most valuable weight of a chicken is? What's the most valuable thing on a chicken by weight? He says this. I've heard it 300,000 times from him.
By weight?
By weight.
His liver.
Feathers.
Is that right?
Yeah. Because they're extremely light.
Yeah.
And they're highly valuable. They make feedstock proteins and all kinds of stuff.
Out of the feathers.
Stuff out of the feathers, yeah. And
Man,
obviously they stuff them in pillows and whatnot.
You know what's crazy is on that subject, I can't remember if I sent this to you. There's these archaeologists that have developed this technique now where they can go look at ancient grave sites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where you dig it up and you think it was just bones. They've developed these techniques where they can identify down to genus and family generally what feathers were in that grave. Totally, you'd never discern it. The human eye would never be able to discern it. Like
just
if you were
from
digging
the dirt.
Yep. Within the soil, and it's this whole thing. These 5,000-year-old burial sites in Sweden, and the amount. Just the thing we would never known about these people is that just there must have been like elaborate headdresses, capes, and things out of feathers. Where there's these burials that they got a half dozen different. They're finding that they were buried with a half dozen different kinds of
species: birds.
Hawk, owl, grouse, waterfowl.
Wow!
All in these like feathers in these sites that previous people thought of as just bones. So like when you look at when you look at archaeology, you'll often see that they'll, like, let's say this whole room is an archaeological site. Some dude might come in and do 1 square meter, but then he's like, you leave the rest. Like that's why.
So you've got something.
Yeah, because also sometimes down the road, some dude's like, "No, man, I could take that dirt and tell you what he was what he was wearing when he was buried."
Interesting.
You know, so you like that level of restraint to like leave, leave it, because dudes in the future will be able to do amazing, in ways you can't imagine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But just thinking about that, what made me think of that is you saying that those feathers are utilized.
Mm-hmm. That's the goal. Everything's utilized. But yeah, that's absolutely amazing. The technology that you have to do to figure out the DNA, I guess.
And they look at a lot of these people are laid on their side, and they can look at where. So like they'll find that there's a lot of stuff around the shoulder area. There's stuff around the head area. There's stuff on the elbow area. Where they had adornment, feather adornment on them. And
they think it's like they died, and this was the burial process.
So yeah, ceremonial burials, ceremonial burials. Yeah. How much have you dealt with normal casings, natural casings?
Natural casings, a decent amount. I mean, so we don't supply them. Yep. So the natural casings are in the form of hog, sheep, or collagen.
Yeah. Let's talk about hog casings. Sure. One time we took a wild hog. We were hunting down in Florida. I took a wild hog and I got out. I don't know, man. Like you could have stretched it from me to that wall over there. I guess from one of these walls to the other wall. Wasn't that long, probably. Nah, I'm lying. It was half that distance.
Okay.
Soaked it in vinegar. Soaked it in a mild vinegar solution, water and vinegar. Just loosen it up.
Okay.
Inverted the whole thing.
Turn it inside out.
Because it's all fatty on the inside.
Right.
And then we just very gently scraped it and scraped it and scraped it until we had like what you would buy when you bought natural casings, and then made brats out of it. What's funny about it, it was the toughest. Like, I don't know where we went wrong.
Did you salt it? So that's part of the process.
You bit that brat, dude, and you were fighting that brat. try to get your bite off. And I was like, man, there's something we didn't do, you know? I mean, there's something we did, like an oversight we made, you know?
Sure. Yeah, the guy that founded our company, his uncle ran a natural casing company.
Oh, okay.
And it was called Oppenheimer Casings, I think. And he went
like a whole nuclear deal here.
Well, so that's what I originally thought, because
Yeah.
he originally sold some of his land to the U.S. government, some sort of nuclear. It was all around that same time. I said, is this the Oppenheimer, like Oppenheimer? No, different Oppenheimer.
No one knew he was a big hot dog man.
Yeah. So
brat man, yeah.
So I'll take it. So he went to Europe, saw this viscose process. Hey, I think we can make inedible hot dog casings out of this. And his uncle said, no, we're in the natural casing business. We're not going to diversify. And he said, okay, I will. And so he left, started his own company. I mean, the guts that it would have to take to leave the family business.
Yeah, it was good. I don't think Phil caught it. Phil didn't catch it, but it was good.
And then he starts a company called Debunking.
Mm-hmm. Debunking.
King. Vis for the viscose process. Is what this thing. It's regenerated cellulose. King. I'm not sure why. The first brand name, these casings we still carry the same brand called No Jacks. So you got Kings and Jacks.
Oh.
So there's rumors going around he was a big card guy. And so then he decided to he was all about expanding the business, going into new different areas. So he took us to plastics. And the original brand, so you got Kings, Jacks, was Vis Queen.
Oh.
Huh.
And so I still call plastic sheets Vis Queen.
Sure.
Like I still call it that.
Yeah, I do.
I had no idea why.
No, I didn't know why
until I came to work
either.
for this company. So it was Vis King and Vis Queen. We sold off the Vis Queen.
Yeah, like it's an entry level ground cloth when you're camping. Is a Vis Queen, Vis Queen ground cloth.
I still call it that. Yeah. So that's where it came from. Was that plastic films, and so he kind of came in at the right time. So it was the 20s. He's coming with a new technology to making sausages lower cost for the consumer.
Got it. Because the natural casing was expensive.
It was more expensive. Yeah. Then the Great Depression hits, and every single family's got beans and franks on their dinner table.
Okay.
During the Depression, and it was just starting a business. I've tried it. You've done it. It's hard. And it's all about timing. Like this guy had the right idea at the right time to revolutionize the hot dog industry. Because there was no skinless hot dog until he invented these.
And that was around what year?
1928, I think. And then the company invented the shearing process, which is actually a term that we stole from the seaming industry. There's a shearing stitch, bunches fabric together, and that's. What he saw is when he'd go to a butcher, they were wadding the casing up on the horn.
Yep.
To make sausage. He's like, why don't we do that for him? And so he invented.
Coming preloaded.
And there's a lot of science that goes into how you make that.
Yeah.
Like how it's twisted. So when you shear it, it's not just wadding it up on itself, right? It's twisted and shoved and twisted and shoved to get the folds and the right so that you can get the maximum amount of stuff on that.
Huh.
So there's a lot of science to it. So it's pretty cool.
Now, where do you see it going? Like with people kind of starting to trip out about, plastic and ingesting plastic and food and stuff. Do you picture there'd be people moving away from that?
It's possible. So this is cellulose. It's not, but we do sell plastic casings. The ones I got. I think that
you're talking about when you go to any deli and any deli in the world, not in the world, go to any deli in this country, man. And you go to the deli counter, there's plastic wrap meat,
it's a shrink wrap. I mean, so the one piece on why you would use a plastic casing is it's non-permeable. And so it adds perfect protection to whatever's inside it.
Oh.
So you got to weigh the pros and cons.
That's an interesting point.
A bunch of bacteria making its way into my food product, or do I want plastic?
That's kind of the selling point on that?
Yeah, I mean that's
It's a non-permeable.
It's a non-permeable barrier, and I mean those things are used to package pet food. You know, you see the new fresh versions of pet products that are in their refrigerator.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. I never thought of it like the trade-off on it. That it's like protecting stuff getting in.
That's
it.
right.
I mean, it's obvious, but I just hadn't really put any.
So I think the big piece is you just got to make sure that how does it peel? Do you get it all off? What is that? I mean, I believe me, I get it. I used to microwave stuff in those plastic containers until my wife started yelling at me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it. When you store spaghetti sauce in a plastic container, it's stained red for the rest of its life.
Yeah.
I get it.
See, this is the deal. Like, I don't really know. Like, I don't know. And we'll get all kinds of emails from people in the plastics industry when I say this, but I don't really know. But I'm always telling my kids, we're laughing about, like, when my dad was in the Army, they'd give you your C ration came with 3 cigarettes. Okay. So I'm always telling them, like, they'll come home and they'll be like, can you believe people used to do X, Y, or Z? You know, that they used to bleed, like the doctors would bleed you with leeches to try to cure you of whatever. And we'll always have a laugh. And I'm saying, but I said, and you know, I don't know what they are. We're doing all kinds of things right now.
Right.
Like, this doesn't end. We're doing all kinds of things right now that in 50 years, 75 years,
can you believe
people will say, can you believe they were
using radiation to treat cancer?
Yeah. And and it'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I don't know that it'll be this or not, but they might say, can you believe those people were putting leftover food in Tupperware containers of X, Y, and Z model and putting it in a microwave and then eating the hot contents? Like, I don't know that that's it, but there's something. And so I'm like, if I was to give them a suggestion, I was like, if you can afford to not do things that feel to you like maybe it's going to be one of those kind of things, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, it won't be in the future that they're saying, can you believe they were eating deer meat and garden vegetables? It's just like not going to be, that won't be it.
Right.
It'll be some different thing.
Yeah. And the way I look at it is, I know how I behave at home, but I also know how lots of other people behave. Like if I look at a river and see all the plastic junk floating in a river, and that eventually gets to the water plant, eventually makes it through a pump, eventually gets ground up. So if I get microplastics in my blood, is it because of the way I microwaved my leftovers? Or is it because some guy kept throwing plastic water bottles into the river?
100%.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's it. I had the other night I was having a conversation with someone there, asked me if like Great Lakes fish are like really safe to eat because of the heavy metals issue.
Right.
And I'm like, man, when you die, it won't because you're eating Great Lakes fish.
Right.
It'll be something different that gets you, but it ain't gonna be that. You know,
it's mercury down in where I live.
Yeah, So it's true. It's a super fair point. Yeah, you can't head it off.
Yeah.
One question I had earlier, you mentioned the cost thing in the Great Depression. You'd sent me an email and I showed this to Steve with some early ads for hot dogs.
Yeah.
And one of them was some kid, these 2 kids eating lunch together, and one kid's got 2 hot dogs and the other guy's got 1. And he says, your mom gives you 2? And the kid goes, yeah, they're caseless. And we sat there and we're puzzling over, like, what do you think that allows him to eat 2? Remember this?
Yeah. So the other kid's like, mom was being a tight ass or something?
Yeah. So we were like, maybe they're suspicious of the casing or like.
But he means
it's cheap so he can get 2 hot dogs for lunch.
I mean, that's the key.
Yeah.
Consumer votes with his wallet and with his eyeballs.
Yeah, I'd been meaning to ask you about that, and it clicked for me when you were talking about the Great Depression.
Some of those ads were just so hilarious.
Oh yeah,
like it's a similar thing. We look back at our advertising back then. It was.
There's an ammo ad we used to pass around. There's an ammo ad where it's a dude doing a grip and grin with a mountain gorilla. You ever see that ammo ad?
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Your mom lets you eat 2
Bill,
wieners?
How come your mom lets you eat 2 wieners? No skins.
Bill's a lucky guy.
Yeah, dude.
Gee
he's
willikers.
His
killing it.
mom's smart.
You know, like Randall has like positive thoughts about dogs.
That's right.
I have very positive thoughts about dogs. You know,
About the hot dog.
yeah, like like I look, I see a hot dog and I get happy. Like when I tell a hot dog story, it's a positive story. You know, now my wife, she's got bad hot dog stories because like when you're a kid in at a certain age, it's kind of like 5th grade, 6th grade, it's all of a sudden you get introduced to the idea of like that there's kids that get everything they want and there's kids that don't get everything they want.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be that like there's kid like Randall's got Nikes. So in my school, he would have been a snob.
Right.
Right. And he would bully kids whose mom wouldn't get him Nikes. Right.
Right.
This is like a thing. So I thought I was poor, but my mom and dad just wouldn't waste money. They were actually quite well off relative. Like we were like middle-class people.
Sure.
And a lot of our community was not middle class, but I thought we were poor because I couldn't get anything cool. Now my wife would have to get sent to school. You remember those like thermos containers?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom would put boiling water. Her mom would put boiling water in one of those thermos containers and jam a couple dogs down in there and send her to school with that for her lunch. So at lunchtime, all these other kids are eating like Doritos and whatever. Or like, you remember when those crackers came out and you get the cheese and it comes with a little knife and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They'd have all that garbage. And she'd have to crack open that thermos and pull out those lukewarm dogs and eat them.
And everybody
so
watches the steam just go.
Yeah.
So in her mind, dogs are a bummer.
Yeah.
It reminds her of like being at the lunchroom eating those lukewarm dogs when everybody else is eating cool stuff.
She's not the only one that got sent to the cafeteria with a thermos with hot dogs in it. So
that was the thing.
I
told her I'm not familiar with that
Yeah.
preparation.
Oh yeah. And it's pre-microwave, right? So you got to have something to keep it warm. I got sent to school with a thermos full of hot dogs to cover too as well.
So when she sees a dog, when she sees a roller dog, she's bummed.
Okay.
She needs to go to therapy about it.
Yeah.
Because the other day we were at my daughter's volleyball tournament. They had a concession stand up there. I went up there. She got like a Diet Pepsi or something dumb like that. And I got 2 dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't even ask me for a bite of my dogs.
I don't think I've ever been unhappy eating a hot dog. Like it's always a good thing. Like you're over a campfire, you're at a ball game, you're normally doing something fun.
No, that's how I feel about it.
You're fueling up the truck.
Right.
Yeah. Like sunshine, a hot dog, a beer and a hot dog, like campfire hot dog. It does something in my brain where it's this positive association. And I'm like, life is good.
Yeah. No one's ever kicking the shit out of you when you're having a hot dog.
Yeah.
You know? Right. Never.
Yeah.
This takes me back to the trenches.
All right. So tell us here, we've been teasing it. Tell us the ultimate, like walk listeners through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we should do? Maybe we should launch it right now if people are interested. If anyone out there wants to try to send in a deer meat roller dog,
sure,
please,
we'll
eat them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been doing. I don't think that people that have poison and stuff, I don't think they use it like that.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to send us the poison, like dudes with poison,
deliberately.
Yeah, they're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to make a roller dog. I'm going to do all the trouble of making a roller dog, and then I'm going to put my poison into it and send it to them.
He's got all of his charts on the wall of how he's finally going to get Steve Rinella, and then he hears this on the podcast. He goes, aha. Yeah. I'll just poison the dog.
He said, all I got to do now is figure out how to make a great hot dog, and then I just put my poison in there and I'll kill him. So I just don't see that being a risk. So if people want to listen and make a great roller dog out of deer meat, but then you can't trick us and send us one made out of
poison.
No,
pork, yeah,
beef, pork,
yeah.
or poison.
Yeah, talk about when you describe the hot dog.
Yeah,
this theory of a venison hot dog. Can you go back over just briefly, like the challenges and how you, and the steps that you're taking here to address those challenges?
Sure. So the steps are.
I like how he put his glasses on.
Yeah,
you like that?
Yeah.
I can't see anything. I can't see anything without them. Steps are protein extraction, then emulsification, temperature control, then smoking. Right. That's how every hot dog's made.
Okay.
So there's a hot dog recipe on on your website
Mhm.
for a red snapper venison
Yep.
hot
Mhm.
dog.
Thanks for moving that mic, Randall.
So I live.
What'd you think of that recipe?
I thought it was good. I think it's got
Don't choose your words carefully here.
it's got problems.
Okay, there we go. That's what I'm trying to get to.
I wear an 8.5 in my Tacova, so I'll point out all the mistakes with his recipe. 8.5. So basically, he's shoving together all the ingredients for emulsion. He rightfully points out I got to control temperature, so he like pre-fridged the meat and all this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But he made the emulsion and then put it in a freezer. So he's like making an emulsion and then putting it in the refrigerator for a day, hoping that the proteins extract, hoping and praying.
Does it say that in there?
Right. It did not. It did not. So in my mind, let's extract the proteins right. Let's use salt. Let's use ice. Let's do it in a stand mixer. Extract the proteins right till it's super tacky.
Okay.
And then make a hot dog.
Okay.
And I live on the Gulf Coast of Alabama, and calling it a red snapper venison hot dog. I sent that to my son. He's like, that sounds disgusting.
Oh yeah.
He's thinking it's a fish shoved together with,
fish
with
and deer
venison.
meat put into a hog.
It doesn't sound very good. So, yeah, I mean, if I was, so what I wanted to do was investigate, and the one thing he does in that recipe is he supplements pork trim and pork fat as his fat source.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying that's cheating.
Mhm.
That's not what we're wanting to do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's yeah.
So I looked
He's
through
just making a hot. He's just trying to make a hot dog.
I looked through all the fat options out there.
Mm-hmm.
Deer fat, there's not enough of it. It's waxy. It's got a super high melting point.
Mm-hmm.
It's out the door. Wild pig fat, maybe.
Sure.
I mean, it's pork, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to get it off the back, not off some of the more active areas.
Yeah.
The more I looked at it, I think bear fat is the preferred fat for making a pure wild hot dog
Really.
because of its melting point, and it behaves more like pork. And I
Really?
think it'd be a cool flavor.
And not rendered, cubed, like cubed
Right.
fat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We had a couple jars of rendered right there, but yeah, not rendered.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, when you're making a hot dog, you're trying to get that fat particle to 1 to 10 microns. So it could just, I don't think you'd want to spin up rendered fat. I think
Okay.
you're going to want to take cubed fat. I want to pre-blend the fat, extract the proteins separately,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
then put them together.
Okay.
A couple other weird.
What would be the ratio there?
So I would use 65 to 70% venison,
Okay.
lean venison, 18 to 22% bear fat. Very specific number. I think that's that's the range. You're going to be like 20%.
Okay.
The biggest balance of the formula would be ice. So you're talking 10, 12, 15% ice. And that's the other thing.
In what form? Shaved?
It's going to get shaved in the emulsifying process. You know, it's all got to be gone before you start stuffing. It all needs to be water before you start stuffing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ice crystals. It's too dangerous. There's things like listeria and things that can happen when you've got crystallized ice in a processed meat.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's one thing you've got to make sure it's all melted out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But he mentioned using cold water. Okay, let's take it one step further and use ice. It's
Yeah,
the
freeze
coldest
that
water
sucker.
you can get.
Yeah.
Right. I think there's some other cool stuff we could add: mushroom powder, citrus fiber.
Now, why mushroom
Things-
powder?
So mushroom powder will, according to my sophisticated research, will give a better gel network. Because what happens with venison is it's a real crumbly gel network. It's
Yeah.
going to want to crumble.
Hmm.
If I overcook my smoked sausage, it gets crumbly.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
and mushroom powder will help that. And it adds kind of a cool flavor.
Okay.
Citrus fibers going to help with emulsion stability, viscosity, water binding. There's some all kinds of cool things that would do.
Okay.
I was trying to maintain like pure to the roots of what we're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah.
We could add, and I think with venison, we may have to add some phosphates to help get the pH down. We talked about that when the deers, especially if it had lots of lactic acid during death.
Yeah.
So, if you're my buddy Joe and every deer you shoot runs for 300 yards, they normally drop when I shoot
Joe
them.
style. Yeah.
Joe style.
He likes them to be over on the neighbor's place.
Yeah. A long, dramatic blood trail.
That's right.
He likes those emotional
what
highs and lows.
He
Yeah.
does. I'm going to use 130 grain bullet, so it'll run even further. I stick with the 180.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's going to give me grief for that. I want it to die quick. So, but I can use phosphates to get that pH up to help with the extraction process. And I mean, you're a butcher, when you're getting smoked sausage from a butcher, if you're not doing it yourself, there's probably some phosphate in there. There's probably some sodium nitrate in there to get that cool pink color.
What form does that phosphate come in when you buy it?
I had it written down. I can't remember off the top of my head.
And what is it? What are they drawing it from?
I think it's pyrophosphate. I think it's hexametaphosphate. You mean what's the feedstock for it?
What is it? What is it at? What is it as the form that like the earth produces it or whatever?
So the earth produces, it's mineral form, right?
Okay.
There's all kinds of. I know a little bit about phosphate manufacture. It's very energy heavy. Most of it's done outside the U.S.
Okay.
in phosphate furnaces for taking yellow phosphate and making it into products that we use like TSP and all that.
So it's the same phosphate that would be like in fireworks or whatever.
Sure.
Okay. Gotcha.
I mean, it's a phosphate's phosphate.
Yeah. I got it.
I think.
Or in gunpowder, there's phosphate.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Nitrocellulose and other stuff in gunpowder. The first company I worked for into the paper industry was a company called Hercules. It was known as Hercules Powder Company. You've probably seen the old ads for Hercules Powder Company. It had a guy with a club, but they made gunpowder out of nitrocellulose.
Okay.
They'd get out of tree stumps.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
And eventually that turned into paper chemicals.
Got it.
They were a DuPont child.
Yep.
There's a bunch of them out there. Companies that spun off from DuPont.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would you, you mentioned when we were talking on the phone, having, as you talked about earlier, having to supplement with like a whey protein potentially. Sure. Is that something that you thought more about?
No, yeah. I mean, I think we just got to do the math.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about.
That's simple.
And that's what all these folks do is they do the math. Like, how much lean protein do I have? How much of that is extractable protein? It'll be trial and error. Like, you guys come to our food lab and we can trial and error it, right? Because I got to know how much of that specific. There's not venison hot dogs flying off the shelves, right? They're not everywhere. So we're gonna have to learn about how much of the protein can I extract, and therefore, what's my protein to fat ratio? Because that's the secret sauce, right?
Right.
I want to have, again, an emulsion is an oil particle that's surrounded with some sort of stabilizer, and the stabilizer in a hot dog emulsion is meat protein.
Okay.
And basically that keeps the oil particles repelling each other. There's some other cool stuff we can do, like partially denaturing it allows the protein to unfold. It gets a hydrophilic and a hydrophobic tail. So hydrophilic loves water, so it points away from the fat. Hydrophobic loves oil, so it's going to point in towards the fat, and it makes a more stable emulsion.
Really?
Yeah.
You can go deep in hot dogs.
And people say hot dogs are lowbrow.
I know.
It's highbrow, man. It is. There's a lot of science. I mean, I mean, dude. So like one of one of our sales people has a meat science degree. So it's some serious stuff.
Okay, on that dog there that you're working up, the venison dog, tell me the part where we start flavoring it. Like the seasoning.
Yeah, I mean, so the traditional Frankfurter flavors, we talked about them. It's nutmeg, coriander, some of those.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones are kind of your standard seasonings that, as wild game cooks, we put in a lot of stuff like onion, salt, onion powder, garlic, those types of flavors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it all depends on what you want. There's black pepper. Yeah, it's what are you shooting for?
Got it. You know, so like those boys at Oscar Mayer, they have their own seasoning blend,
and
that no one knows.
I don't know it. I wouldn't want to know it. Yeah.
Why not?
Because then they'd have to kill me.
Hunt you down, yeah.
That's right.
Man, I want it so bad. She's not writing me back.
I mean,
my wife made these cookies that it looks like a giant sausage, but it's a cookie. And when you slice it, it's like you're slicing mortadella.
It's got the white. Well, it's probably the white chocolate, white.
Everything in there, dude. You would think, like from across the room, you'd swear you're looking at a sliced up mortadella sausage, but it was cookies.
Yeah,
kids didn't like them. But it was, I was trying to get her to send me a picture of it, but
they didn't like the flavor, or they didn't like the presentation. Or?
No, they didn't care for the cookie. They didn't get the joke.
Okay.
They didn't get the joke. The joke was lost on them. They were just rating it as a cookie, and as a cookie, they thought it scored low.
Did you used to have olive loaf when you're banging around? You ever seen olive loaf?
Yeah.
That's another one of those probably fits in the emulsion category.
You know what my old man was big into is, and this is definitely an emulsion.
Yeah.
Is my old man was big into liverwurst.
Yeah.
He'd buy, I believe he'd buy Oscar Mayer liverwurst that had the yellow wrap on it, right?
Had the plastic still on it.
Came in plastic, yellow wrap. He'd get mad if you got into it.
Mm-hmm.
That was his sando, man. That onion on rye bread.
You know, there is one company that I'll mention. I said I wasn't going to come in and mention any brands, but I'm going to mention it because it intrigues me and I want to try it really bad. And I wonder what took so long. But my social media has been covered up with Spam hot dogs. So Spam's coming, you know, Hormel's coming out with a Spam hot dog.
Interesting.
And I got to try that.
Does that grab you by the boo-boo doll?
That sounds pretty cool.
Real curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. That it?
What else?
Well, you're going to, when someone tries this, walk someone through the smoking process.
Yeah. So I think with venison, we're going to have to take the smoking process very slow.
Okay.
Because that DSC curve that I talked about, we want to baby it through that gel network formation.
Okay. By slow, you mean lower temp?
Low temp.
Lower, longer.
I probably want to get the humidity up. So, you know, you put a water pan in your smoker.
Okay.
I'd probably do that for this. And I'd hang them in like a vertical, you know, whatever, electric smoker or charcoal smoker.
Ballpark it. Like what temp and how long? Because you're taking a raw, this hot dog has not been cooked. You're hanging a raw hot dog in a smoker. How long and how hot?
I'd start at 120.
Okay.
I'd probably increase it 10 degrees over a period of time. And you know, I'm talking hours potentially. I mean, when a hot dog's made in a hot dog plant, it's not hours. It's a shorter period of time. But you've got to get to that 155, 160. With chicken, it's 165. There are obviously the safety points that you got to cook it to. But I would baby it through those early stages until that gel starts to set up. And, you know, I think we've been talking about the science of it and using words like emulsions, protein gel network. And it feels like, again, that I'm making food in a Petri jar, but this is all natural stuff. We've learned from the natural world on how to make the materials.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm convinced that the primary reason of venison hot dog, I think everything that's on the market as a venison dog would be pretty close to sausage and not close to a Frankfurter.
Yep.
And that's because that protein extraction is so hard.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to baby it, keep it cool, and then the smoking, start at 120, work your way up until you got a dog. You know, I probably have one wiener that would be sacrificial. He'd be the one I'd be checking temperature on.
Got it. That's interesting. You say that. That's why venison dogs. What you were just telling me about venison dogs on the market. Have you ever seen the movie French Dispatch?
No.
Okay, there's a dude in this movie. He's an art dealer.
Yeah.
This ties into hot dogs. He's an art dealer, and he's dealing in abstract art.
Right.
And he says the only way you can tell if abstract art is good is you got to ask the artist to do you a regular painting. So I'll ask him to do me a bird. If he can do a great bird, then you know he's doing abstract because he chooses to. If he can't do a great bird, he's doing abstract because he's not talented enough to do regular art. So with the venison dog thing, when people are it's just interesting. When people are getting clever with these venison dogs, they might be abstract artists who can't do a bird. Right?
Good point.
So they're acting like they're trying to elevate the game, but it's like, no, you're not elevating the game. You can't do a roller dog. That's why you're doing.
Right. You're trying
It hadn't occurred to me.
We need to do a bird.
I know. So I would go to a fancy dog guy, a fancy roller dog, or a fancy hot dog guy, and do the same test. Be like, okay. If your hot dog's so great, make me a roller dog.
Make me a roller dog out of venison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, then I'll believe you that your dog is great. But if you can't do it, you can't do a bird. That's why you're doing abstract.
Yeah, and that was one of the questions that Corinne asked me during the pre-thing. She said, "Well, when you make hot dogs at home, and it's much easier to go to the store and buy a hot dog for $5 a pack than to make hot dogs at home. Like you're kind of
That's a weird deal, right?
Like, it's a really weird deal. Like, am I gonna take a whole animal? I mean, granted, in Alabama, I think I did the math on it. I can kill 203 deer a year. So the state won't allow me.
We're in a $1 state right now.
So there are more deer in Alabama than there are alligators in Florida.
Good.
There's tons of them. They're just not the gigantic ones that y'all have here.
Yeah.
But am I going to take a deer and just kind of commit to making some dang hot dogs out of this animal?
Our buddy made some, and he pointed that out. Cal.
Yeah.
Cal made them, and he pointed out. He's like, okay, let's say you do get real good, and you make a whole bunch of gas station hot dogs out of deer meat. Right. Then what do you got? Which is a very valid point. Because I want two. I don't need thousands of them.
If there was ever...
You're going to do this to make 2 hot dogs.
If there was ever a year to do it, it's the 250th anniversary of this fine nation.
That's a good point, man. How better to commemorate? Yeah, how better to commemorate?
I'm fully expecting this year to be a bang-up year for the dog.
It is in general. Could be a big dog year.
In general, I think it's going to be a big dog year.
The conditions are right.
Yeah, well, I just had a couple on. I had a couple on Saturday, man. And they were delicious.
That's my go-to deer camp. Like lunch is hot dogs.
Yeah. I was telling my kids, I was like, man, I don't think you're supposed to put ketchup on those. Technically, they don't. They put ketchup on them.
I got a problem with that.
You put ketchup on them?
No.
Yeah, they didn't want to hear about that.
My wife puts mayonnaise on hers, and I got a major problem with that.
I was observing the other day to my buddy when I was eating those dogs. You know when you get those, like let's say you're at like a concession stand,
right?
And they give you a dog, and it's on that little
like the coffee filter type tray thing.
Yeah, it's like a little like a waxed kind of tray.
Mm-hmm.
So you get your dog at the counter, and you settle up, and then they somewhere nearby they got like the condiment station. And maybe the dog's in a foil wrap or two.
Could be.
Okay. So you get it out of there, you go over to the condiment deal, and you start applying everything. There is no chance, like you cannot do it, that those condiments, that when you're sitting there on your the bleacher,
right,
You're sitting there on the bleacher. There is no chance that you're not going to have ketchup and mustard on your hands and on your clothes.
Mhm.
Right.
It can't happen.
It's good.
I was just observing this on Saturday to somebody.
Have you seen
In
it?
your car, you get out of the gas station, you get in your car, there is going to be,
Yeah.
even if you skip the condiment table and just took the dog and
But-
raw dogged it, I swear you're going to walk out your car and there's going to be ketchup on you.
Yeah,
And you need to go near the ketchup.
That's how you know you had a good time.
that's right.
Half of Sydney's phone camera roll is just images of me with mustard somewhere it shouldn't have been.
Oh.
Well, I've been known to eat ribs in the car,
Mhm.
and that's a similar
Yeah.
problem. Real messy driving food. You can eat them. Check the.
Yeah, I never
check
eat
the
ribs
bones.
on the road. You know what boudin is?
I do.
Yeah. What I had an idea with boudin would be, I was thinking about you'd get a receptacle of hot sauce up on the top of your car,
Mm.
like where the roll bar would be or whatever,
Mhm.
and a hose down through the car.
Yeah.
So the picture that you're driving, right? Here's your steering wheel and everything,
Mhm.
and right here is a little valve, a squeeze valve. So when you're eating boudin, you can
Just beat her out a little
you
bit.
can right out of that reservoir, you just dribble.
It's perfect because you only need two hands to do it.
Well, that's because you're driving with your knee. Yeah, well, you're right. Well, maybe you'd get it such that you could like a
Yeah.
foot pedal. Maybe.
Yeah.
There's a foot pedal.
You just
That's
touch
what in Europe at the outside of the hot dog stand, they have mustard with a foot pedal. Brilliant.
Keep it clean.
So you can hold a drink and a dog and dress your dog with your foot pedal.
That's how they do it in Europe.
At least where the last hot dogs. Well, I noticed it.
Not
It
the-
was not everywhere.
That's incredible.
not the big hand pump.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Do you
that
be
is a
able to
good
stand
idea.
there holding your drink.
the foot
you got
foot
your
pump.
kids' drink. You
Yeah.
got your dog.
And I was standing there looking at it, wondering where I should slap it, like trying to balance my beer on my hand with the dog in my hand. And this woman came up and she's pointing at the ground, and I had no idea what she was
'Cause she
pointing
didn't
at.
speak American.
And then I saw the pedal, and I thought, my God, they are better than us.
Well, they stole that from the porta potty industry, right? You know, the recycling hand wash
exactly.
sink is where they.
It's
got
smart.
that from.
It's smart.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you people might not be willing to help us out in our current conflict. However, you have a great way of getting mustard. You found a great way to get mustard onto my dogs. So if we ever want to do this, if we want to do our hot dog deal,
Sure.
we got to come find you guys all the way in France. That's where
That-
the big bad lab is.
Well, that's where the lab is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Obviously, there are tons of boutique customers here in the U.S. that had the same equipment, but you don't have the free reign of a lab to
Mhm.
experiment and do all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
they've got to
So
let you in there with us because you got to be there with us when we do these dogs.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? You're probably going to get a bunch of requests. Come
Well,
to
it'd be
come to
tough
my
bar
place.
for them because they'd have to be able to now write in and be like, that guy,
was a hack.
that guy's a hack. So if a big hot dog guy out there can come in and look at your resume,
The pressure's
right?
on.
Yeah.
And be like, he's no hot dog man. I'm a hot dog man.
I'm a casing man.
Mm.
I'll say that. I'm more of a casing man than a hot dog man, but
Mhm.
but you kind of have to. You got to know the process.
But
Understand.
I'd look
it
at
to
like,
be
let's
able
say
to-
you're an electric vehicle guy.
Sure.
Someone's like, I'm more of a battery man
Yeah.
Yeah,
than electrical. But I'm like, but that's
That's
what
the
we're
thing.
after here.
that's the heart of the.
That's what we're
heart of-
after
heart
here,
of
you
the
know.
debate.
So being a casing man, I don't think detracts from you being a hot dog man. It's like the battery guy at an EV place.
Yeah, I think
know?
you're safe until I get an email from the podcast email forwarding thing, and it says oscar@oscarmeyer.com. That's the only
That's right.
that's the only guy who's going to trump your credentials here. So I
For
think
the
you're
record,
safe.
you guys
Yeah.
are the one that keep bringing up that brand, not me. But that's fine.
Well,
it's
you know
a
what the
good
problem
company.
is? You know why we keep bringing
A
that
good
band
company.
up? Is to be honest with you, I can't think of another hot dog outfit.
Ballpark
Oh,
Nathan's.
what am I
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Nathan's. Phil, can you scratch
Yeah,
every
if-
time we said that and
if
make it be
Nathan-
that we say Nathan's?
Or if Nathan
It's a-
himself emails me,
Nathan at Nathan's?
They're all
we'll
customers.
stop mentioning hot
They
dog
are-
brands now.
You haven't mentioned one that's not a customer yet. So,
Oh,
What was the other one? Nathan's?
ballpark.
Yeah, so ball at ballpark. Take that call.
Nathan's Famous is who sponsors the
Yeah.
The big event.
I don't get that, man. I don't think that they should do that.
It's probably
So-
their, it's probably their best marketing.
Dude, I don't think that that's a good idea. You know what? You know who's got another bad idea?
Yeah, it's Winsel's
It's not
Oyster
your-
House
this is
in
not your-
Mobile.
You're not a paint man, are you?
No.
Okay. Who's that paint outfit? That their logo is the earth getting covered up with paint. Sherwin-Williams, I think. It says cover the earth. I'm not kidding you. Phil, pull that up. It says like
Give me a
cover the
second.
earth. Their logo is the planet
Right.
being
with a
consumed
bucket
by
of
the
paint dumping on top of the planet, and the paint is dripping off down around like 45th parallel south.
I guess I can
you
envision.
find
I
this?
can
Yeah,
envision
I
it,
get
but
it.
I never really put that together.
And then Nathan's doing that hot dog eating contest. I think is bad business.
I thought
These
you were-
people would sell a lot more paint if they got rid of that paint logo.
I thought you were going to go into other eating contests.
That-
There-
This
Yeah.
did these guys miss the whole Earth Day like the whole Earth Day era? Like, dude, I don't look at that and get all hot for some paint. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Imagine if that was like Exxon's logo.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah. And that Nathan's hot dog eating contest, I think they should back out of that. It grosses me out, man.
There's an raw oyster eating contest in Mobile where I live.
Pleasure or volume?
It's volume.
No.
So you got to get your name on the board.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna go dark for a minute. There is the guy that's at the top of the board got sick halfway through it
You don't say.
in one of those Lexan deals.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
that kind of sick.
They said, "All right, you're out." He goes, "No, I want to get on the board. If I go ahead and eat that, can I fire it back up?" And they said, "Sure." So he re-ingested
Oh no.
for the sole point of getting his name at the top of the oyster board.
I mean, it's
Some
good
people
to-
have their
It's good to have something you're passionate about.
something they're passionate for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Do you want me to pull up a video of that?
Is that this is on Phil's phone?
Yeah. He's got-
Man, I appreciate you coming on the
I've
show.
enjoyed it.
I do.
Yeah.
See, we're definitely interested in doing that trip.
Mhm.
But like
We'd love
kind
to
of
have
word got around the office a little bit and it's generated a handful of eye rolls. Just to be frank.
I get it.
Just
Nice.
to be Frankfurt. Because people are like, hold on a minute. No, why
gotta go to
France? And then someone brought up, like, would you be doing other things there too? We're like, no, just making the hot dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll look for domestic
Are there
options.
other-
I'm sure
Are
people
there
are
other
gonna,
little worky things you'd be doing while you're there? And we were like, no. We were thinking about getting some coffee.
Seems pretty straightforward.
some bread. They do bread well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean so Beauvais is like a short cab ride from Paris. Getting from here to Paris, it's pretty easy.
I do have a
It's pretty
little
easy.
for another. I just realized there's a writing project where I do have to do a little site visit.
Yeah.
I do have a France site
Yeah.
visit.
That's a great point.
We're
Mhm.
set. We're good.
All right.
I
Good
just
to go.
thought of it. It just hit me. Okay, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
No, that's good, man. I learned. You know what's going to happen now though? People I hang out with are going to have to endure me when they're eating dogs for me to be like, man,
Talk about protein extraction. And all
yeah.
that
If you're
good
curious about what you're
Yeah.
eating there, I'll be happy to.
I don't remember what day we spoke, but Sydney had like a bad first 45 minutes when she got home from work. It's just like, this part of the hot dog where the line is? No, I don't.
stuff. Yeah. And that was the
So-
key, just to make it
Mm-hmm.
1 pound packs,
Yeah.
easy for the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, man.
Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yep.